welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Tuesday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go up to our friends up in Queensland who unfortunately just got themselves in a lockdown, of course, up there in Brisbane. Well, let's hope that doesn't deter, of course, hopefully netball, of course, up there, hopefully to play this weekend once they hopefully get out of it on Friday. And, of course, for the defending champs, the Cougars in the Sapphire series, of course, they'll be hoping to keep rolling on in the Sapphire. And obviously for the Ruby as well, they'll be hoping to stay off the Tigers attack, who are right behind their tails at the moment. And, of course, we've got two very special guests joining us right now from the Cougars. Tell us all about it. Thanks both for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Well, I will get both of you to introduce yourselves and tell us what position both of you play on the court.
I'm Remy, and I play goalkeeper.
I'm Vivian, and I play wing defence.
Normally, you would be at training right now, of course, preparing for this weekend's big game against the Jets, but obviously with the lockdown that just got introduced today, I guess what's the approach now? Has your coaches given you like any training, like sort of little schedule at home that you need to do in the hope to hopefully get back on the court, hopefully in time for the game if it goes to plan?
Yes, so Liz encouraged us all to go for a run at some point this week, and we've also got like our regular gym program that we can do without weights, I guess, change it up a little bit. And even our exercise phys, and we're allowed to go see her to do some training if we like on the side, because she's still a, what's it called?
The essential service.
Yeah, still counted as an essential service. So some people might take that offer up.
Last week for the Cougars, I know that there was both wins, I'm pretty sure, of course, on the last weekend just gone. Tell us, how did the game go on the weekend?
It was pretty good. I can't remember the exact score, but I want to say it was probably, we were up by 14 in the end. I played the first half and got to have a rest for the second half, which was nice. But Thunder are always a huge competition anyway. They've got some strong people across the whole court. So I reckon it took us about the first half before we put our foot down. But yeah, it was tough and came away with the win, so that was good.
Definitely a formidable team. We're always a bit like, ooh, here we go every time we have to play them. Particularly their shooting end is always really strong and dynamic, regardless of whether or not they have their training partners there in the likes of Binion, who I love. Yeah, they're still always a really good competition in the circle.
I know in the Sapphire series at the moment, you do have bonus points for winning a quarter. So how did the team go in regards to getting the bonus points on top of the win?
I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say we got all of them, I think.
I think we lost one.
Maybe the last quarter.
I think we lost the last quarter because Liz is very particular and does enjoy to win the quarters.
Yeah.
So she often responds to that when we don't. But yeah, I think we did lose one, but still, I think we're pretty good in terms of getting most of them generally. Yeah.
Now, I know your team in particular, the Sapphire series, have, dominated the competition, let's face it. Pretty much completely just destroyed your competition throughout this season so far. So I guess how do you get motivated when you win games by over 10 goals? Do you just go by, okay, at the end of every quarter, just reset again, knowing that you got to get those bonus points as a motivation?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is that it never really feels like we're
I was gonna
up
say,
that much.
It always feels a lot closer than the scoreline looks.
Yeah, than what that reflects. Because all the teams that we play out on the court are all really tough, all individually, work really hard, and it's it definitely doesn't feel like we're up by that much. And personally, I don't look at the scoreboard that often either. But I think in a way, Liz does sort of encourage us to play each quarter. I know that's something Amanda's always said. to me as she coached me for many years, like start again at each quarter and, you know, try and win it again, I guess.
Luckily enough to play at Nissan Arena, and I know that you have also played on the show court where the Firebirds play their home games in the Suncourt Super Netball, which means, of course, that good old super shot on that court at the moment. So has any of your teammates have ever tried to do a super shot?
I feel like Mia does them every week, despite whether or not the super shot line is there or not. She seems to shoot from anywhere, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't ever tried for a super shot, just muck around, but it'd be fun to try.
Oh, I reckon you could do it, Vivi. I reckon you could. With a bit of practice, you know, maybe. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Mia and Martina, or all of our shooters actually could easily do super shots. If they were doing it in our competition, I think it would be danger, you know, because those three are so accurate. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever bring it in for our competition or not.
What about your coaches there at the Cougars?
What do you want to know? No.
Yeah, what do you want to know? They're pretty, I guess, the same old coaches telling you what to do, running you through training.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever you say, Liz. I'll do whatever you say, Amanda.
Yeah, pretty much. It's definitely a well-oiled machine where we do what we're told and we listen to them. They're very experienced. You know, the amount of premierships between them is pretty astounding. So we definitely take that and run with it, I guess. But yeah, they can be tough, but I'm sure most coaches are when they want the best out of their team. So yeah, I don't know, they're pretty good.
And even when Liz might seem a little bit tough, we always get her little baked goods at the end of a game anyway to just soften the blow.
Oh yes, Liz is an excellent baker, you know, so no matter what happens, we're coming home with something sweet.
Now I have to ask this one. Tell us a couple players in your team that's had an outstanding season so far, and you can't include yourselves or each other.
Fair enough. I'd go Ruby at the moment. She's had an awesome season. Her stats look pretty good. She's had minimal contact calls on penalties against her and maximum amount of intercepts possible per game, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, Ruby always impresses me. I think all of our sort of training partners or players in our team who do sort of play at that higher level and train at that higher level definitely bring, I don't know, like a little extra finesse and even sort of like more expectation to our training and the way that we all sort of perform together as well. But because you've already chosen Ruby, I will probably pick Mia or Riley. I like all of our shooters. It's really hard to choose one, but yeah, I mean, Mia is really consistent as well, and like she can shoot anywhere, which is pretty cool. It's very, very useful for our team to have a shooter who can just shoot from outside the super shot.
If the game goes ahead this week, which we're all hoping you will, against the Jets on Saturday, even though it's going to be a very quick turnaround in regards to getting our lockdown, prepare to go to the game against the Jets. I know that I believe that you're going to be missing a couple of players because obviously I think they're flying to Melbourne to be obviously with the Firebirds bubble. I guess how are you going to be adjusting to that?
I guess we'll just have to probably use some of the training partners that are part of the whole Cougars club and squad, and or ask the Ruby team for some extra players if they can spare any, but I'm not sure if that'll happen. We might just have to make do with who we've got and push our way through.
I mean, at some point throughout this season, we've had people missing. Like we've had one person missing almost every week due to injury or, you know, various different things. I mean, it is going to be two key players, but at the same time, all of our squad, the Ruby team, we all train at the same level. You know, we all work hard together, so any one of them can step up and fill those roles. And they have throughout the season, you know. Maddie Davies and Naomi come on and play equally well at the Sapphire level. So not too concerned about that, thankfully.
How did both you get involved in netball and why did you choose it?
Mine was probably through my siblings. I've got 5 older siblings, so I'm one of 6, and I basically was just dragged along and watched them play sports since I was very young. And netball seems that was the most popular sport in the household, so it was kind of just through them. I just got involved and started playing at probably like primary school and just kind of kept with it.
Yes. So my sisters, 10 and 12 years older, and my mum played at a pretty high level when she was young. So I think it was always going to be netball in my family. I think my parents even played together in mixed teams when they were freshly married. So cute family things.
Viv, I need to ask you this question considering you are one of 6 siblings in your family. So I need to ask, who's the best netball player out of the 6?
Out of the 6, hey, this might cause some controversy.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say I've probably had the most opportunities or been fortunate enough to play for a few more state and rep teams than some of my other siblings. The 2 closest to me in age, Ingrid and Naomi. Well, you've probably seen Naomi play. She's also playing this year for Sapphire and Ruby. She's made multiple state teams as well, though she was a bit more talented across other sports than the rest of us. But it's difficult to say because we all play different positions.
Yeah, it's like a family. You can have a family team.
Yeah, we probably could have a full team with the family. But, I mean, I like to think I'm probably a pretty good wing defense compared to some of my other sisters who play shooter and a wing attack. But I don't know. I'm not really sure who could say. Maybe Naomi would say me, but I want to say other people, so that's hard.
Good answer.
That's a very good answer. I was hoping you were going to say you, but
well, maybe secretly I like to think so, but I also had a year off, so that may have given me a little bit of a handicap.
No, that's good for the soul. Don't worry about that.
You mentioned right at the start what position both you play on the court. If you had a preferred position where you love to convince the coaches to put you, and here's your chance now before the weekend, where would that be?
This is actually a great one because we're missing this position. And I think I could play goal attack. 1, because I can get the rebound, obviously. That's part of my job. I know how to do it. And secondly, I can't really shoot, but I can definitely move around the circle. I know what a goal defense and goalkeeper want or, are trying to do, and I'll do the opposite, They'll never know what's coming.
That's true. Bit of a jack of all trades, Rem.
Absolutely. I would love that. Or centre, but that's too hard also.
Too much running.
Too much running for this level. I'd play it, somewhere else.
Yeah, I was going to say shooting as well. I was thinking maybe a goal shooter. Not too much running, but you still get a bit of the glory.
Oh, Viv, I could definitely feed you the ball easy.
Yeah.
You're a holding shooter. I'm sprinting around the front, doing those top of the circle drives like bloody Mia Stour. All over it. You've got good role models, see? That's why. Yeah.
Now, both of you play at my favourite end of the court, the defensive half, which I know on the netball court, they don't get the much recognition than down the other end of the court. But I think both of you should get a lot of credit for it, for being the defenders down there. Do you feel at times maybe you should get more credit than the rest of your teammates?
That's a classic question.
I don't know. I mean, maybe not so much credit, but it'd be nice every once in a while if they just said, thanks for all the extra possession you're giving us. But
thanks for the opportunities.
Yeah, you're welcome. But I reckon it's the whole idea of a team sport. Everyone chips in. So, I mean,
yeah,
I don't really mind either way as long as we win. It's okay.
That's right. I mean, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I always hear the encouragement if I do get an intercept.
That's true.
I definitely yell, "Yes, baby!"
Yeah.
whenever we do.
Yeah.
And we definitely encourage each other as well. But yeah, no, they're pretty good.
Ask the most silliest question I'm going to ask, but I'm assuming both your highlights throughout your netball journey would have been the Sapphire Premiership.
I had some really good, great school experiences with netball. And previous to this year, I played in the Ruby team, and we were snuffed and pipped at the line for a few premierships for a few years, but fun regardless. But some of my favorite memories, I'd say, are actually from my school netball.
Netball's pretty fun. I definitely enjoyed like representing Queensland and getting to go to different states and play at that level when I was younger. But yeah, there's nothing quite like it. I mean, particularly when last year was just like, I don't even know, indescribable, because we had lost. Yeah, it was a whirlwind because we had lost the year before after being undefeated all season, and that cuts so deep. That was just devastating. So to sort of redeem ourselves felt really, really good. And hopefully we can continue on that track and not have that same issue.
Yep, touch wood.
So, Remy, I need to ask you this question then. So when you won the premiership last year with the Sapphires series, when you absolutely put the Jets to the cleaners in last year's grand final, and obviously, I'm assuming, did you get a chance to hold the shield, which is actually a pretty big shield, actually? And I know you're not meant to do this during COVID, but, you know, did the team or even yourself had a little kiss of the shield?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's an Instagram photo of me kissing it, actually. Or I might be like a few centimeters away, but there's definitely mouths touched it for sure. Yep. Yeah. I don't think it's that old either. I think it was like fairly new when they changed it to Sapphire. I could be wrong. Yeah. So it's probably not that filthy, but you know. I also remember we used to have a cup. I don't know if that was when I was playing in tier 2. And we drank some moe out of it when we won. And it was so dusty. It was gross. It was good, but it was gross, like, because you could taste the dust with the moe, but yeah. Or moet. I'm probably saying it wrong. I always get it wrong. Is it moet or moe?
Actually,
it matters not if it's in my mouth. Yeah, that's the important thing.
Now, and how long did you wear your premiership medal around your neck for? And did you sleep with it too?
48 hours. Yeah. We came home, got dressed, had a party, wore it out, clubbing, slept in it. I'm pretty sure actually Mia sent me a video of her the next day, still wearing it and then drinking again on Sunday or Monday. I took it off to go to work on Monday.
Oh. Now, what does the sport of netball mean to both of you, and especially being there at the Brisbane North Cougars?
I think for me, netball is about community. And it's always been, you know, I have so many friends for life who aren't even Cougars anymore, you know, and are all over the Sapphire series in different teams. But I would still consider them, my netball community. You just have such deep relationships with your teammates because, you know, you just spend so much time together and you really do some hard shit together. So there's nothing quite like it, you know. But yeah, it's definitely about community for me.
Yeah, I'm very similar. I just do it for the people most of the time. Sometimes winning or losing winning's nice and it's an extra bonus, but most of the time, if I'm going to play netball, I want to do it because there's some really awesome people and it makes training fun. It makes doing anything that usually is a bit of a chore, pretty fun. And yeah, like Remy said, you just make friends for life that you might not see them for like a year or more, but anytime you catch up with them, it's like no time has passed, which is really awesome.
Now, you might as well give your local junior netball club or association a bit of a shout out. And do you, either of you, ever go back there to help out?
Yeah, well, interestingly, I am originally from Met West, actually. I came up through Lions. So my junior club was over that way, the Rangers. But coming to Cougars, I moved to Downey Park, which is where Liz and Amanda have their roots. And I do go there actually pretty regularly, because every year we go there to run Net Set Go, where we work with the little kiddos every Saturday morning. So that's pretty cool to see the up and coming players. And actually my sister put my my nieces at Downey Park because she wanted them to grow up and become Cougars, even though they live like not in the area at all. So that's pretty sweet.
I'm like Remy too. I'm not actually originally from Brisbane, the Brisbane area. I'm a Sunshine Coast girl. So I started at the SCNA up on the sunny coast. But once playing for Brisbane and kind of moving into Brisbane, Downey Park also is where I've been affiliated with, and helping out with those little Net Set Goes and clinics on Saturday mornings for the club netball is pretty cool. And you get to see all the local up and coming talent.
Viv, I need to ask you this question because you are from the sunny coast. Now, I know there is a sunny coast team in the competition, and actually finding out that's who you versed on the weekend. Did you ever thought that maybe you want to play back at your home? You know?
Yeah, it certainly crossed my mind. I started playing for the Cougars while I was still in school. So I was attending school up on the sunny coast, but I'd had some coaching experience previously with Paddy Farrell, who's the Ruby coach currently at Cougars. And yeah, I just really enjoyed that. And I kind of followed my coach into Brisbane, and I've kind of stuck with Cougars ever since. It was a bit of a trek, certainly, while I was finishing school, driving up for training and games 3 times a week. So there was a lot of Ks covered across the highway, but I'm now living in Brisbane for university, which makes it a lot easier. But it did cross my mind a few times thinking, it would have been so much easier playing at the Thunder club. But I don't think I would have had the same experiences, which I'm pretty lucky and fortunate to have had at Cougars. It's a really tight-knit group, and you get some awesome coaching, which is pretty cool.
Now let's finish up with a couple of lighthearted questions about your teammates. Firstly, who had the most embarrassing moment on the court this season, and what was it? And I know your games are live streamed.
All I can think of is, I think Macy, once she was going for an intercept, but it ended up just smashing her in the face, but it rebounded into her hand. She caught it anyway. But she's someone who wears her emotions on the court on her face, which is quite funny. And she definitely did that time. There was a lot of shock and surprise on her face, which I couldn't help but have a giggle as we were running down the court. She was surprised she caught it too, which was quite good.
Well, it's not embarrassing if you catch it.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I can't actually think of anything. I'm sure I've done some embarrassing stuff, but you'd have to watch them and report back to me because I can't remember.
Right,
yeah, I think we've all had our share of uncoordinated moments.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the comedian, the best singer, and the best dancer on the team?
I think Riley is the best dancer. She's got some moves.
Oh yeah, Riley can drop it. I actually think Riley is like hilarious as well.
Riley is funny. Lisa and Mia usually have a few good quips every now and then as well. They're pretty funny.
Oh yeah, Lisa's pretty funny. She's a pretty funny little lady. Actually, they're just like they just do funny stuff. Like I don't even think sometimes they think they're funny. It's like their life is sometimes funny. Also Martina
is funny. She sometimes says things without thinking, and you can tell she realizes afterwards, but it sounds funny when it comes out the first time.
Martina is like the sweetest angel on earth. Like, oh, bless her. But yeah, she's also like sometimes just like off with the fairies a little bit, or I mean, she's super young, so sometimes she's super young, so I actually think sometimes she just doesn't know, you know.
Yeah, that's
she's
true.
only 17, she's still learning, you know. But yeah, she's pretty funny. Vivi is the best singer.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, Vivian like performs, and it's just a absolute queen of the song. I'm not sure if she would be willing to share us with some tones, but
no
yeah,
live demos, please.
no live demos, but yeah, she's got videos places where people can see them.
Is any of your teammates into their TikToks?
Tina, yeah. Well, actually, and Mia and Lisa.
And Lisa and Mia, yeah. They do TikTok occasionally.
Martina's
quite embarrassing for the rest of us regular age people who are just trying to stay out of the background, but you know, that's fine.
Do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
Oh, actually, at the moment, it's less of a ritual and more of a I just like doing it while I'm in the car when I have to drive anywhere that's longer than 15 minutes. But I like to listen to a podcast on my way. Usually it's the Hamish and Andy one, because I'm always laughing in the car, and it's always a good vibe when I walk out and step onto the court afterwards.
Yeah, that's a good one. Nice distraction as well from the thoughts. Yeah, I love listening to podcasts, but my podcast's like way too serious, so definitely not the game vibe. But yeah, I think I'm just like, my food, that's the only thing I'm superstitious about, is like eating the right things, and I think about it all day, and I like plan my eating to a T, and also like drink heaps of water. But yeah, I think that's about it.
Fantastic.
She's on the waters right now.
Timed it nicely, Viv.
Speaking of water, I'm really thirsty. Yeah, my water was out of reach, which is ruthless.
We'll finish up with this one last one, which is, what will be your advice to people that should get involved in netball, especially there in the Brisbane area?
Yeah, it comes back to that community aspect. Like, you can make really good friends and good connections, and that's a really protective and beautiful thing, I think. So do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say very similar. It's just if you want to get into netball, you've got to start somewhere. So it could be in the social world, or if you're not interested in playing, you can always umpire or be a scorer on the sideline for your team, or a coach or a manager. Sometimes not playing can also be super fun. I've helped manage and sort of assistant coach a few junior teams before, and that's really cool, because you get to know a whole different age group of people. And yeah, the whole officials as well as players is certainly included in that whole netball community as well.
Yeah, they're all superstars.
Well, both of you, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. Obviously, stay safe during the lockdown that you're in right now. And let's hope once you're hopefully out by Friday, that you can get back on the court in time for Saturday's game against the Jets. And let's hope you can keep rolling on at the top of the ladder in the Sapphire series.
Yeehaw! Hope so.
Thanks for having us too. It's been good.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
No worries. And that's Remy and Vid there, joins from the defending champions in the HART Sapphire series in the Brisbane North Cougars. Because hopefully they'll be playing this weekend against the Jets in the grand final rematch. There at Nissan Arena. Of course, we'll put all the details up, maybe a little bit closer to hopefully that game on the weekend. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.